Alright, looks like I'm live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an extreme stream. I want that upload. I tried uploading a thumbnail. What's up, everyone? 7th Galaxy Dragon. What's up, buddy? How you doing? How you doing? Andrew Casey J. Munted one. What is munted? Don't know. Hello, everyone. I figured Data Dash is over there talking all kinds of weird stuff like the markets are normal. And so I figure I'd jump on here as well and just say, yeah, we're tanking, so where have you been? What's up, everybody? Bass Clef, Lazy J, Michael. In it to win it. We're all in it to win it. Just have to win it first. Can't win if you don't play. Watching your past video and got the live notice. Best day ever. Oh, thanks, Josh. Which video were you watching? One where I was good or one where I was not good? Hopefully one where I was good. Hello, Phil and Rose. How you doing? All right. I think one of the guys from the Slack chat room are here. I think a lot of people are. Let me post a link, see if they got in here. Okay. How's everyone doing? What are you guys thinking about your Bitcoin sell-off today? We telegraphed that pretty well in the power hour. As a matter of fact, we actually got involved before it sold off. We had an extremely low volume candle, several of them actually on the 15-minute time frame up here. So we caught that live before pretty much all heck broke loose, if you will. Right here was those very low volume candles, and then everything just started to roll over. But on the 15-minute, you could really see it much more clearly on the 15-minute. The 2-hour wasn't quite there. And of course, my browser's gonna hang now that I'm streaming. Oh, I guess I got to test my new internet connection. I got a faster internet connection. 30 megabit upload. Hopefully, if we have any problems, it won't be with my internet. So we'll have to wait and see there. TN, happy. Hi, Randy. Australia's happy to catch this extreme stream. Bulls are on the way. Where? When? When are the bulls coming? When are they? When are they coming? We're waiting for the bulls, guys. They're just not showing up. They're just not showing up. You ready to see the 2,400 to 3,600 bottom now? Yeah, not necessarily. I don't know if it's going to happen right now. That would be a bad candle. Just ka-choom, down $2,000. Looks like Aeon is capitulating. What do you reckon? Well, just based on Bitcoin, I can tell you Aeon's probably not doing much capitulation right here. I don't think that's in the cards right now. Yeah, there's some chat here about the bulls are in Chicago. I think the bulls are generally just, they've left. The bulls have left. Let me get this weirdness out of here. We were discussing the possibility of a pennant. Actually, Ethereum had the pennant. This is a more viable downward sloping pennant than Bitcoin's. Still don't quite know how it's going to play out. Doesn't look like it's super bullish so far. And this recent sell-off to Bitcoin doesn't really look like has a ton of momentum. It's obviously more than in the consolidation. We're coming down to that most recent low point. If we really break that low, I think it's kind of game on. I don't know what the bulls are going to have left to grasp onto. So, oh, what's up, Ted? $10 to the cause. Thank you, my brother. Always appreciate that. By the way, if you guys haven't already, get in that habit when we do these live streams of hitting that like button. I'm sure you guys are already subscribers. If not, hit that subscribe button, and you can go ahead and get all the wonderful real crypto-ness that I put out every once in a while. AE's destroyed. Let's take a look at AE. Well, here's our power hour list. We got AE, ONT, both down large single digits. Misego against the dollar down. That broke our stop point right there, guys. For those of you in the power hour, that broke our stop point. Look at that pretty definitively. That's why we have those stop points, ladies and gentlemen. It is not a hodl world. It hasn't been a hodl world since we crossed 10,000 on the upside. As a matter of fact, if you guys have been paying attention, 10,000 on the upside has not been a hodl world. And that's like bare maximum. I generally don't believe in hodling, but you definitely don't hodl in a situation like this. So, Omise Go, Decred was holding up well. Not really so much anymore. Finally gave up the goat. We talked about the H pattern here. If you guys don't know about the H pattern here, you better learn about the H pattern. It's a pretty powerful little pattern that does happen in bad markets and usually leads to more downside action. It's literally just a little lowercase h. That's all it is. It's not super technical, but it does have to have a very well-defined downtrend and then a dead cat bounce, and then it rolls over and then continues. That's the H pattern. I guess I just kind of taught you. Theta down 12%. We're looking at Theta in the power hour here, and it looks like it fell out of whatever base. We have some buy notes in the power hour on the spreadsheet. They're not buy recommendations. They're just kind of buy notes. So keep that in mind. And man, just a lot of badness right now. Ben, thanks for the advice. 2 days ago, exited Kiba, took some profits, turned BTC into USDT, so avoided most of the recent dump. Well, good job. That's really what we try to do here at Real Crypto, guys, is save your money. I mean, there's times to make money and there's times to not lose money. And sometimes when you're trying to make money, you take stops, right? You get stopped out, you miss on a trade, something unexpected happens, but that's why we have stop losses and hard stop rules. But there's also times not to lose money. And in this market, pretty much the only thing you do is lose money, and this is the time to not lose money. If you're losing money in a bull trend, you know you're making mistakes and you can address them. If you're losing money in a bear trend, why are you trading to begin with? And now, the trading that we're doing generally in the power hour and around the Real Crypto community with the Slack chat room and everything is basically shorting. Is this a good place to short? Where should my stop be on my short? Where should I cover my short? Because the market is moving to the downside. That is where the momentum is, and that is where we are trying to go. So there you go. Have a look at the key moves yesterday. Okay, let's take a look at some of those key moves. Key moves, ladies and gentlemen. Key moves. Let's see. KuCoin, Key BTC. I think this is the key you're referring to. Oh yeah, pretty good uptrend here. Not too bad. Fitness Health, Randy, absolutely the best and more honest TA. Thank yous. You're welcome. You're welcome very much. Why don't you guys go over to Data Dash and steal all those people listening to that guy talk about how Bitcoin's a good buy because of some arbitrary triple bottom that he's making up out of his mind. Ugh. Everyone's a Bitcoin genius when the market's going up, guys, but when the market really starts to tank, that's when you really know who has your best interest in heart. And not even necessarily your best interest, but who can kind of read the market. If you're taking buy recommendations from a gentleman who never really has a sell recommendation, what do you have to watch him for? You know what he's going to say. There's no other side to the coin. It's like having a coin with two heads on it. We all want the market to go up, but it doesn't always work that way. You know, you have to be able to look at the market and objectively view it. This is what I think about Data Dash. I don't know much about him. I've probably seen 4 of his videos, but I've been hearing a lot about him lately. He probably bought Bitcoin when it was like $10 to $200, somewhere in there. He has a tremendous amount of Bitcoin. Therefore, he has a huge upside bias to Bitcoin. Okay, but ever since 20,000, I don't think he's really gotten this market right at all. He may, you know, I have a lot of my community members follow him, and I haven't really seen. I think I've seen 1 or 2 comment about that he's been bearish like once or twice, but all of a sudden he turned bullish again. I don't know. I don't understand. So if this is the key you're looking at here, Ben, I didn't get the confirmation on that, so I was kind of looking for that. Anyway, so if you want the analysis on this one, so Well, it's actually doesn't look too bad, especially even right here. We're living in this high level. We've got the RSI kind of up at a high level, which is good. Declining volume, but remaining high, which is good. Nothing too crazy going on here. I would probably, let's see what Bitcoin, what kind of weirdness Bitcoin's doing. Still in here at 58.54. So we're still kind of headed lower there. I'm not sure where we at here on key. Oh, there's key. Let's look at a bigger time. Let me see the bigger picture. I always like to start and know more about my target. Yeah, very big volume right there. Actually, this looks pretty bullish. I got to be honest with you. In a horrible market, this is really bullish. You've got a nice little shelf here that is not a chart pattern or even a setup or even a thing, but it does kind of look like a shelf. Pops up, goes sideways for a considerable amount of time, and then pops up really, really high here, living at high levels. Breaking over this prior high is bullish. At this moment in time, it appears to be basing, however. So, yeah, very interesting action. I'm not keen to go long anything in a tremendously bearish tape, but this is one of the coins that you could probably take a smaller position in, maybe half a position, whatever the position sizing is for you in your portfolio. I would maybe take a half size position in this and maybe try to play it. So just kind of take that for what it is. But yeah, overall looks pretty good. The volume signature is pretty healthy. Bit of distribution there at the top, but so far nothing too bad. If it gets too far below this low here at the 167 level, I would probably say to probably ditch it, to be honest with you, because it's such a bad tape. It's just really hard to get bullish on stuff. Okay, so someone did have a EOS on here. Let's look at EOS. I've got EOS up here on the power hour list. Yeah, so EOS basically in a bear flag situation right now. We had the big run up. This was the run up to the mainnet launch. This was the accumulation phase. A little more accumulation here. I think EOS is a good coin overall, but the market's garbage. So EOS is going to be garbage as it should be. Bear flag situation here. This will probably break down in the near future, but don't count your chickens before they hatch. All you can do is kind of go with the chart. Right now your chart isn't implying anything. This is an equilibrium type of a pattern. If it breaks down, short or sell. If it breaks up, maybe you want to buy, but I would definitely keep a tight stop on it, on EOS. Let's get to some more questions here. Top 10 equals oh, okay, that's in response to someone else. So look, everyone's got opinions on these things, guys. There's no need to have arguments about it, to be quite frank with you. These are trading vehicles. Okay? I hope you guys understand that. And this is something funny, because I think one of the reasons I went live too right now is because Data Dash was live. I'm like, oh god. And then I was listening to him, and he's talking about all these really small altcoins and their projects. And I know this is crypto. I know we're supposed to be excited about the technology and everything, but from a guy that's been involved in stocks forever, I've seen so many things with great potential just do nothing. I've seen so many things that you thought had nothing in them rise 1,000%, just time and time again. So what you have to realize is that these are trading vehicles. Okay, you guys aren't investing in companies when you're doing this. This isn't the stock market. What you're investing in is what someone else is willing to pay for this asset at a later time. It's a tradable vehicle. So the only thing you can do with a tradable vehicle is read the charts and move accordingly. I do think you should get to know the project a little bit to know what kind of project it is, because most of the sectors, if you will, in crypto move together. Like sometimes privacy coins will move, sometimes the transactional coins will move, sometimes all the platform coins will move. So it basically, it kind of moves in sectors. Like, you need to know what it is. Like, you need to know what Venn is. Do 7 minutes of research and never look at it again. Okay? Same with BNB, same with EOS, ADA, Ontology, XRP, all of these right here. Know what they are, know a little bit about them so you can have a small discussion. But it's a tradable vehicle. Okay, there's no intrinsic value in anything on my page right here. Nothing. Maybe, no, not even XRP. XRP is right now just a tradable asset. It's not even a usable blockchain thing. Ethereum probably is the only thing that has some intrinsic value, but it's not worth 50 billion. I just kind of posted about that talking with someone else on Twitter. Speaking of which, if you guys don't know, you can follow me. Here's my Twitter. So my notifications getting here. Yeah, at Real Crypto Trades, my handle. Where's my handle here? Yeah, right there, at Real Crypto Trade. You can go ahead and follow me there if you want to. And then just retweet everything I say so everyone follows me. That'd be great. So, Elo, hey Real Crypto, do you have a boyfriend? I do not have a boyfriend, as a matter of fact. I've got a wife. As of last Saturday, I have a wife. So there you go, guys. Real Crypto's off the market. No boyfriends. No boyfriends for me. Not this week. Last week it could have been, maybe. But not this week. Why is Nano down so much? Says NSNSN SNSNSN DJD. Why is Nano down so much? We actually took Nano off. Actually, no, I put it back on here. It's not on the list, but it's on the thing. So Nano's down so much because it's a cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrencies in general are going down. So this cryptocurrency is also going down. That's my general technical view on Nano. Now, Nano is actually doing something that some of the other cryptos are not doing. You know what? Let me go to CoinMarketCap so I can get a little more history. I just want to make sure that... okay, yeah, my view is correct. Every time I look at Nano, I have to double check with CoinMarketCap. I'm like, I just want to make sure that the chart's as bad as I think it is, which it is. All right, so let's go take a peek at that. Okay, so here's a big spike from Binance, but you know, Nano continuously making lows is not a good thing. You don't want to be buying coins at lows, like I mean all-time lows. Things can remain lower time and time again. There's certain ways to handle these situations if you're really interested in Nano, but generally you do not get involved in things that are just getting beat up to the point where you think it's a great deal, because it's probably not. All right, if you haven't been investing more than a year and a half, trading more than a year and a half, I'm literally going to say a year and a half. If you haven't been trading more than that, and something's really low, don't just arbitrarily buy it because you think it's low. That worked in 2017. It's not going to work in 2018. It's a different year. It's a different market. So that would be my advice, is just stay away from these ultra low coins. Ven's a little bit of a different issue. Ven actually was low and is high and is staying higher. So I'm not recommending buying Ven, but I'm just showing you the difference between Ven, something that has a massive accumulation and everyone's holding on to their Ven, versus Nano, where Nano had its accumulation. I'll go back to CoinMarketCap, and you can see we've already come all the way back down to a much earlier point in time where Nano was much cheaper, and it's happy down here, versus where Ven is happy up higher. So I'd much rather be involved with Ven than Nano in this time, but I'm not advocating purchasing either of them. All right. Cool. Not so many questions in here today. You guys just, is Bitcoin falling and I'm just missing it, or what's going on? Pretty slow on chat here today. So thanks for joining me here today, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. Please hit that like button. Please get everyone from Data Dash's channel over here into our chat so we can talk about some real price action and actually really what's happening with the market instead of what you wish was happening with the market. And I feel like a lot of people are talking about what they would like the market to be and not what the market actually is. I feel there's a misnomer about what this market is and how price behaves, and I feel that people are just putting their opinions in instead of actually learning about the markets or any market and value and valuation, which there's not too many in crypto. And these are just tradable assets. You trade them as such, and right now none of them are looking too healthy. What do I think about TRX? Well, if you guys saw my video I posted earlier today about those about those big trend lines. Well, TRX actually broke its long-term trend line too. I actually thought about this after I made my video. I was really trying to stick with the top older coins, but let's see here. I want to make sure that I get this correct because these trend lines are important. I moved it. Didn't want to move it. These trend lines are important. Okay, so I kind of touched there. So you can see TRX right on this trend line. Actually, if I move it up a little bit, it's barely undercutting this trend line. So I'm not a huge fan of TRX here. As this gets cut and moves lower, I think it'll definitely mean more weakness in the cards. If you guys haven't seen my latest video, please go ahead and check that out. We talk about Monero. We talk about a good amount of Monero, Dash, Zcash. Litecoin has a similar trend line that's been broken, which is just brutal. Actually, I think I have, yep, it's still up here. So there's XMR, broke its long-term trend line. This is my last video in just a general nutshell. Zcash broke its long-term trend line. Dash broke its long-term trend line right down here. Litecoin broke its long-term trend line right there. And that's not a misprint that I'm not going down to the low of this candle. This is the proper trend line, not this candle. But even if you were to respect that candle, we still broke the trend line. So no matter which way you draw this, the trend line in Litecoin has been broken. This, I believe, is fairly significant. And then Ethereum, not broken yet, but it's working on it. It's working on it. And then I put Bitcoin in here for good measure, just to kind of show you guys that. All right, some more questions to answer. That's cool. Cool, cool, cool. Let me go back here. What about the coins going mainnet tomorrow? Who cares? No one cares. People are losing money. No one cares about a mainnet. You have to understand, when investing, no one cares about anything except for their investments. The second they made cryptocurrencies tradable, ladies and gentlemen, is the second they threw most of this crap out the window. The second they made it about money is the second they lost it. And they did that really early on. But we also wouldn't be here if they didn't make it about money. So, you know, it's a double-edged sword. It makes everything bigger because of the money, but it also brings another dynamic into the market that I don't think anyone expected. Dan, big fan. You don't. Dan says, "Hey Randy, big fan. You don't have to answer this if you don't want, but have you ever had feelings for a man?" No, I have not. I think BAT is the best move right now. What do you think? I think cash is the best move right now. I think cash has been a great move for quite some time, and yeah, it's a really good place to be. Is whatever your fiat currency is the best move. Cash is a position. You guys don't always have to be invested. And while it looks like Bitcoin's moving up here because I started streaming, that's generally how it works. I still do believe that cash is the best position. So let's look at, I was trying to get to BAT BTC. Yeah, I don't think BAT's better than any other crypto. Yeah, so I think there's a pretty big symmetrical type of pattern happening here. Pretty well defined symmetrical pattern. So this has to play out until it's gonna move in one direction or another. Bitcoin going to 5K 90% confident, 4K 70% below, 3K 50%, and 2 to 1K 40% confident. Bottom is, and the boring period can begin. That's decent. I don't mind that at all. I think that's not bad. Do I think Bitcoin will drop to the average price of mining a Bitcoin and then go in a bull run? Absolutely not. No one knows that number. I don't think anyone can definitively know the average price of a Bitcoin. They may get within $1,000, but I don't think you can know the average price. You don't know, you don't know what everyone's mining cost is. I don't believe you can know that. Electricity is too crazy in terms of its price from around the world. I think everyone is just beaten down and exhausted, don't even know what to say anymore. Yeah, I think there's a few million people right there with you there, whiskey fishing, because it's been crap. No one enjoys a bear market. Let me reiterate that. I don't enjoy the bear market. It's just happening, and I just happen to be calling it more correct than a lot of people, okay? But I don't enjoy the bear market. If I had an option, um, I think everyone would have the market kind of go up in perpetuity. So, nobody wants a bear market except for those that are just short all the time, and that's all they do is short. And there are people that do that. They're called perma bears. But I'm not a perma bear. I kind of go with the flow. And all the people that just can't believe it can go lower, the second you can't believe something in trading is the second you're going to have mental fatigue. Okay, and when you get mentally fatigued, you either walk away from the market and miss major turning points, or your decision making is basically flustered to the point where you can't make conscious decisions. How far could we go down until we get a bounce? That's a good question. I've actually been asking myself that question. I don't have a great answer. In the power hour this morning, we were discussing the Bitcoin. Okay, this isn't. Let me get to it here. We were discussing the Bitcoin 2014 market, or at least I was, I guess, and how it really felt to me like we were just kind of moving lower. And I can delete these lines. Don't mean anything. So here's an area of the market where we really didn't get much of a bounce. We just kind of rolled lower. Okay, I think we're in one of those markets where we just kind of keep going down for no apparent reason. Both of these ended up in parabolic type of downside moves, almost capitulation. This did happen to be the ultimate bottom. This one was kind of a fake bottom, but you still could have had a good trade off of that one specifically. I think we're in that kind of a market where everyone's waiting for a bounce, and no one can believe we're not getting a bounce, which is going to cause more selling, and more selling as we get lower and lower. Now, someone in the Slack chat room was posting a chart, and I haven't looked at this yet, about Bitcoin longs versus shorts, and they said the longs were getting pretty aggressive, and they are. You see the longs here over the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days getting pretty aggressive on the long side, and the shorts not so much. The shorts have been selling their shorts, and the longs have been going long. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is something interesting to note there. But the shorts still at relatively high-ish normal levels for this bear trend that we've been in. So you can see here's 2018, right here, this line. So ever since here, we're kind of in this higher area still. Not quite sure why the longs are so aggressive down here, but we have seen a lot of action where these lows have been eaten up right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. A lot of these lows have been eaten up, but the volume on this daily chart really doesn't suggest that it's a big deal. Even high volume here, even though there was quite a bit of accumulation down there at lower points. You can see right here. This is a nice accumulation bar. This is a nice little accumulation bar. It didn't matter. It still rolled over. So we'll have to wait and see if one of these lows actually holds down here, or what happens there. But so far the bear is still firmly in control. Monkeytron says measured move from here. Well, the 5,000 is the bigger picture there. Monkeytron is the one that we've gone over in my videos and in the power hours. The Bitcoin 5,000. If we go back to the daily, so right down here. Oh, that's that trend line. Yeah, so the 5,000 is a measured move from this top all the way down to the low here. Oops, there we go. And right there. So 5,000 still in the cards. It's still working in that direction. There is quite a bit of support right here. We kind of knew there would be. We talked about this a few days ago, and the support is still in place, although it's not super aggressive. You see the volume here is not massive whatsoever. RSI just really coming to a fine point, and we're going to move at some point. If we get a nice bounce up, we'll play the bounce up. If we get a sell-off, we'll play the sell-off. But 5,000 is in the cards from a measured move from this bear flag area here. I'll try to get to a lot of these questions, guys. Hey, you guys started ponying up with questions. Now I'm behind. Pretty cool. I like that. The stage measured move. If you have 10K to invest, what would you do? I would keep it on the sidelines and I would not invest it. In some countries, it costs around 2K to mine a Bitcoin, and some 18K. So do you think it will drop to the average price of mining one Bitcoin and then go up? I think I addressed that already. I don't think that the cost of mining has anything to do with cryptocurrencies. At least not in terms of a pricing perspective. Now, obviously, if it's a losing business decision, crypto won't be around very long. But I think in order for... guys, keep in mind, there's probably been well over $1 billion in Bitcoin infrastructure built up around the world. Maybe many billions of dollars. I don't know the exact figures. I don't think anyone necessarily can. However, yes, at some point, mining may shut down, and that will actually cause probably a decent Bitcoin collapse, just from people psychologically interested in their coins, going away. It has nothing to do with the price and mining. It has to do with just people's sentiment about, oh crap, is crypto literally dying? Like right now, no one feels that crypto's dying. We know the price is going lower. We also know it's going to bounce and go higher, later on in the summer, maybe into the fall. So we'll have to see. But yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, mining really doesn't matter right now. The miners of any consequence will live through negative Bitcoin prices for a while. VeChain Thor ready to release. How do you value the split? I don't value the split. Didn't even know they were splitting until you mentioned it, to be quite frank with you. I don't have any information on that topic, unfortunately. What are your favorite entry setups? Fibonacci bounces, patterns, divergence, channels, Elliott wave. So I look for reversal patterns, Lazy J, is what I look for. I look for breaking of levels. So here's a good example. Let's go to the 2 hour. What I will do off of a low like this is I'll wait for the break of a prior high somewhere. All right. So on this breakdown here, you see this trend line I have drawn right there? That trend line. If we get, so here's our first bounce. If we get above this bounce, this would kind of be one of my cues to get in. Breaking that level right there. Okay. That would kind of be one of my cues. I also do reversal patterns. I do volume bottoming analysis, but we haven't seen much of that. There was a little bit going on here, and actually I think we caught this live in the power hour. And I mentioned right down here, I didn't take the trade, so I'm not like a super trading genius generally, but I did mention in the power hour. And one of these days when I put together my best of the power hour video, you'll see the call. Hey, it looks like it's bottoming right here. This would probably be a good place to buy right here, and then it had a huge run. So, I generally look for price action and or levels to be taken out. It's a number of different things that I look for, but in a bear market, it has to be a really, really good signal, and there haven't been too many for me lately. We're looking at 200 billion market cap soon. Absolutely, we are. Last time I checked, we were at 230 something billion. 237 right now, so still not doing too bad. 237 is not horrible, but yeah, we are getting down there. And if you notice, Bitcoin back when we were down here, I think we were a little bit lower. So I've mentioned this once or twice before. The rally in Bitcoin and the altcoins, I think, would just drug the market cap back up so we could fall more. And that's exactly what we've done. We've fallen more. Bitcoin's a little bit lower. I don't remember exactly when I had this thought, but we were getting pretty low in market cap down here, and we were thinking to ourselves, are we going to have like a 50 billion market cap at the bottom? We still maybe 100 billion before we actually hit bottom or even lower than that. We'll have to wait and see. Do I think the bear market will end this year or extend into 2019? I think the bear market will end in 2018. I don't think we'll start going up in 2018, though, not with any significance. VeChain's doing a 1 to 100 token swap? Ew, that will destroy the price. It won't destroy the price. The price should stay relative. So in other words, if it was worth $1, it'll now be worth a penny, but you'll have 100 times as many tokens. So you'll have that same dollar. However, what it will do is it will be very difficult to move the coin up. Anytime you have a coin, or even a stock for that matter, with a tremendous amount of shares or coins, it's very difficult to move that up or down. We've been getting beat up for 6 months. How much longer are we looking at? I'd say I personally feel, and you guys know what I say about feelings, they don't mean anything. I personally feel that we'll probably bottom within the next 3 months. That's just a general feeling that I have. It used to be I thought we were going to bottom late May, early June, but that was before we had this bounce. This bounce really extended the market. And we're not breaking down, we're just slowly marching down. And I've actually mentioned this in the past, that we could slowly march down. Let me go back out to the daily. And if you guys didn't catch, posted a video, I don't know, a month or so ago, about this trend line really holding us down generally. And the same thing happened in 2014. If you guys remember, if you saw that video, we had a similar line in 2014 right here that held us all the way down throughout a majority of the bear market. There was an immediate line right here on this trend line. Right here. Sorry, I like to get my trend lines correct for you guys. You know, there was this immediate trend line, and then there was the longer trend line. We did the same thing in Bitcoin here. Here's the immediate trend line, and then we had the longer term trend line. Okay, here's the longer term trend line. And I think we're going to stay underneath this trend line for a while. So there you go. All right, guys, real quick, just want to take a moment to say, hit that like button if you guys haven't already. Hit the share button if you haven't already. And pull all those people from Data Dash's video over. I don't know if he's still streaming or not. We've been going for about 40 minutes now. But, yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. But all I got to say is please don't buy Bitcoin arbitrarily at these levels. Not healthy price action. For those of you just joining us, thank you for joining us. But, yeah, please don't arbitrarily buy here. If you guys have the inverse argument to mine, please post it. I would love to have a little debate with you and see why you necessarily think that this is a valid bottom, a good bottom, or even a triple bottom, which if you've been doing technical analysis for a while, this is not a valid triple bottom. All right, let's get to some more questions here. My take on Ethereum futures. I don't have much take on Ethereum futures. I think it's good. I think Ethereum probably should be its own market, and because it has nothing to do with Bitcoin. So I think it's good. I think a lot of these trading instruments will give cryptocurrencies validity in the future. Savita's laughing so hard right now. I'm not sure what I said because I'm a little behind here in chat, but are you laughing at me or with me? Not quite sure. Appreciate your candid and honest answer, Randy. Cheers. Oh, you're welcome, Dan. Always, hey man, I'm real crypto. I'm not gonna, you know what? I don't have the mental capacity to continually lie to people. I know you asked me a personal question, but even from, even from my channel perspective, from my calls on the markets, and obviously I try to grow my community. The more I grow my community, the more money I'll make in the long run. You know, everyone's up here for their own benefit. I'm here for my benefit. You're here for your benefit. I don't have enough mental capacity. Not that I don't have it. I don't want to work that hard at holding a lie. You know what I'm saying? So you'll always get the truth from me, guys. How old were you when you started trading, and how long have you been trading for? So I actually started getting interested in the stock market in the late 90s when I was just a teenager, as a matter of fact. And I started trading when I had some money at about 22, 23, and I'm 39 now, so that puts me at 17, 18 years, something like that. And I've taken breaks from trading. I've gone in, I've gone out. I've, had full-time jobs where I couldn't trade, and there have been times where I've been able to trade full-time. I've traded in different capacities over the years, and it's a great journey. I told myself I'd never quit. I never have, and still here today with a good amount of knowledge behind me. So all I got to say to you guys is that if you're making money, if you're not making money, it doesn't matter. Just never quit. Adjust your strategy. Learn from the people that resonate with you the most. Learn from those people. And if you realize that the person that you've been, watching or trying to get mentorship from isn't fitting your style, just cut your loss and move on. I've had to do that a number of times as I realized that my personality didn't mesh with whatever I was looking at or reading at the time. I tried value investing for a while with stocks, thought that was going to be my holy grail. That didn't really work out for me. And then I moved on and I found Investor's Business Daily, and that really, really resonated with me. And so I've really been sticking with that type of investing mentality. And then I found crypto, and all of my charting skills that I learned in between these different styles that I've been learning about really helped me get a beat on the market here. So it's pretty cool. The journey that I, my personal journey, I feel fortunate to have had all that time. To be honest with you, I wish I had YouTube around back in the early 2000s when I was getting started. It would have saved me a lot of money. And some guys on YouTube do give you guys good advice. Some don't. So some don't. That's all I got to say about that. But don't trade with all your money. That was something I think I heard, but I didn't heed because I'm different, right? I'm different from everyone else. I'm special. I'm somehow special. I'm not going to lose all my trading capital. Well, I lost all my trading capital 3 or 4 times before I started becoming profitable, but I never quit. I always stayed very low debt, if not debt-free. A vast majority of my life I've been debt-free. And I've always done that on purpose because if I ever lose money, I don't want it to affect my general life. I've always had good credit. I've always been very financially stable. I've never been rich. I'm still not rich. But I've never been destitute by any stretch of the imagination by following just personal sound money management rules and good principles. And then, putting excess money and saving money until I could put it into trading and learning some learning trading strategies. So kind of a long answer there for you, Ethan, but I hope that helps you out. Are you long-term bullish? Absolutely, I'm long-term bullish. I would not be here if I thought cryptos were tanking to zero. Do I think Bitcoin will survive the next inevitable recession? Oh, that's a great question, Austin. We haven't seen a recession since Bitcoin has been in existence. It actually derived itself, as you know, out of the last recession. So it's hard to say. I would generally say yes, it's going to survive. If it's going to be taken down with a recession, I don't know. I haven't put too much brain power and I don't have the time right now to do so. Do I think Litecoin will keep dropping? Yes. In relation to Bitcoin, yes. What do you make of the weekly Bitcoin Ichimoku cloud? Never seen anything like it. Well, I actually don't trade Ichimoku. Ichimoku? What is it? Yeah, whatever. Ichimoku cloud. I don't trade it. I'll pull it up, though. Well, okay, so what do we got here? I've got... the heck's going on here? This looks really weird. I have no idea. Maybe Bitcoin price is so bad it broke it. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I really don't know what's going on here. I don't see where the... I don't know what's going on. It looks like a problem with the algorithm with the Ichimoku cloud or whatever. If you hear weird noises, I'm taking a drink. Thoughts on ONT? Picked it up at 480 today. Couldn't pass it up. when you're investing, there's no such thing as couldn't pass it up in a bear market. That's generally not a good thing. So generally, I think AE is probably a pretty good quality project and coin. At this moment in time, though, it is really low. All I will say about that is that make sure you have a stop loss where you're able to get out. I generally don't like these huge rounding cascading patterns. This being a bear flag in such a pattern usually would imply more downside action. Definitely give yourself a time where you will exit the trade, and that goes for anyone with any position in the market right now. But it is up 1.2% in the past 24 minutes since the day rolled over, more than anything else on our list here for the power hour. Oh, I moved all the way down to the bottom. So I think I'm going to miss a bunch of questions here. So if you want to go ahead and re-ask, please do so, because I'm not going to scroll all the way back up there. All right, so I saw something interesting about Data Dash is conspicuously silent when the market crashes. Yeah, because he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. I'm sure the guy's Bitcoin rich, but doesn't mean he knows technical analysis because he's Bitcoin rich and because he knows a few terms. And, sometimes getting the bigger picture right and keeping your own bias out of the market is extremely difficult. And I think he struggles with that. That's where I think he goes wrong. Okay, that's really where I think he goes wrong. I don't know much about Data Dash. I've only watched a few of his videos, but he just seems overtly too bullish here. And it's easy to say hodl Bitcoin when your cost basis is $100. But for pretty much most everyone here, your cost basis is not $100. Do you see crypto reaching all-time highs within 5 years? Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll be at highs within 5 years, if not around that time frame, maybe a little bit longer. Just really depends. Really depends on how long some of these things, stay flat for, obviously. Do I invest in real estate? I do not invest in real estate. I do better with stocks than I do in real estate. That's what I've chosen to specialize in. I do like real estate. I own a home. I invest in my own home, obviously. But I would like to build homes. I build all kinds of stuff. I'd love to build a house, especially as a spec property. I think that'd be fantastic. New EOS Constitution now. Okay, interesting. That's because Data Dash sucks. Yeah, his bias is just so obvious. It's very, very obvious. Stocks you say at Rowan, ask me next year. Let me see here. Thoughts on Elastos? I don't have any thoughts on. I've never really even. I've heard of Elastos. I don't even know if I've looked at their chart. 97 million market cap coin, ranked 84. Let the chart pull up here. Not much going on with Elastos. Kind of rolling at lows as well. Nothing that I'm really interested in. Everything's just kind of sitting down here at lows, guys. Really not good. This isn't 2017. This is 2018. It's a bear market. It is not a bull market. So don't buy something arbitrarily because it's sitting at lows. Let's check Ripple. We can check Ripple. We have Ripple over here on our Power Hour list. Oh, I'm on the Power Hour list. Okay. XRP. And this is against Bitcoin. Not looking super healthy. Not super bad, but definitely not super healthy. All the top altcoins look like they're basically rolling over from these prior lows. This one as well. They get a little bit of a bid there, but nothing crazy. What do I think about the real estate market? When is it gonna burst? Well, I'm in Arizona in the United States. I'm not sure where some of you are, but the Arizona real estate market is, with the economy being stable and being good, the Arizona real estate market is doing excellent. We're doing about, between 8 and 10% a year in this last year so far, and that's pretty healthy, very sustainable from a housing market perspective. So I don't think we're in a bubble of any kind. I think we're in a general uptrend in housing, and I don't think it's going to stop. At least in my market, I'm not really up in other markets. If other people have some things to say about that. What about Litecoin? Well, Litecoin has been in trouble. If you watched that video earlier, now we broke 75 to the downside, looking at 74.89. We talked about Litecoin in where is it at here? Talked about Litecoin in my last video that I just had, and Litecoin broke this very long-term support trend line. That is not good, not healthy. I'm not happy about it, and it's breaking this trend line is very, very bad. It doesn't give you a price target. What it tells you is that this trend is done. Okay, we've seen trend lines broken time and time again, and this is a very, very important trend line. And the fact that Litecoin broke it, I think, is extraordinarily significant. Extraordinarily significant. So I'm not happy about this at all. We've been talking about a bear market here at Real Crypto, since even before we hit 20,000. We warned about it going parabolic, and we warned about the bear market. And this is the opposite of that. This is now where the exuberance goes away, the complacency sets in, people walk away and don't come back for a long time. And that's pretty much what happened in 2013, 2014, 2015. Now it's going to happen in 2018 and 2019. It is what it's looking like here. This could put very bad things in motion. I really do believe that breaking this trend line is extremely significant. This is Litecoin, guys. This isn't some BS altcoin. This is freaking Litecoin. Okay, this is like the number 2 transactional cryptocurrency in my mind. It's still one of those that you pay attention to. You think Bitcoin, you think Litecoin. It's just all there is to it, and that's important. What indicators do I use the most when trading? Asks Emerson. I don't use too many indicators, Emerson. I pretty much just use price and volume and moving averages, if you consider them an indicator. I do from time to time use the RSI. I like to pull it up. If I see something interesting, I'll mention it, but generally I just use price and volume. Do I short? Yes, I do short. I'm actually short Bitcoin right now on my BitMEX account. I'm up 294% on my short. I've been swing trading this short, slowly adding to my short as Bitcoin's been going lower. Yeah, I'm seeing Data Dash. Oh, Kevin Lewis. What about Litecoin? Thanks, Kevin, for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate that. I believe I did cover Litecoin just now. It's broken, man. It is not looking good. I don't have much nice to say about Litecoin. I do like it. I like Litecoin generally, but as a chartist, as an analyst, I can't say it's doing anything good. And there was a question I wanted to ask. There you go. Can we use what we learned from you on this channel about trading crypto with trading stocks? Do you use the same principles? Yes and no. Okay, I say yes and no. So here's the thing with stocks versus crypto. The main difference in stocks versus crypto is that crypto never closes. Okay? The stock market, let me pull up the stock market. I can't do it here. I'm not going to wait for that to load. The main thing with cryptos is it never closes, so the institutions can't hide what they want to do. All right? And they actually, there's not too many institutions now, but in the stock market, they use the time between the close and the open to adjust what the market looks like, and they will manipulate the market. That is legitimate market manipulation. You guys hear me say there's no manipulation in the markets. Well, that's with cryptos because it's open 24/7. If they want to manipulate the market, they have to do it with open buys and purchases in real time. In the stock market, there's something called after-hours trading. And with after-hours trading, you can put in a limit order. You cannot put in a market order, but you can put in a limit order, and the volume is much smaller. So to move the price up or down takes very little money comparatively for these large institutions, and they will really manipulate the price. And it's kind of an artful science to spotting that manipulation and really trying to figure out what they're trying to do. That's the main difference between cryptos and stocks. So there are lots of games that are played with stocks and cryptos. Cryptos are much more honest in that sense. They're kind of like a toddler. They can't hide their emotions from you. Or in the stock market, it's kind of like a psychotic adult, where if they want your money, they're going to tell you they love you and they're going to marry you, and then they're going to kill you the second you get in the honeymoon suite. Is it not too late to go short now with your long portfolio? Well, we're going to get much lower. Like I said, my price target is between $2,400 and $3,600. So I think there is time. I think there is time to make money to the short side. If you've never shorted before, it's extremely dangerous. You will lose a lot of money shorting and learning to short at this moment in time. I'm just going to put it out there. It's probably not healthy for you to short right now if you've never done it before. If you, I don't like to use this to kind of show my products, but if you do want to do that, I definitely recommend joining the Power Hour at Real Crypto. We do talk about shorting. We talk about all those things. Talk about stop losses, where to place stop losses. So, if you are interested in that, I'm gonna go and pull up my website for you. Go to real-crypto.com, sign up for our Slack chat room, which that is free. I'm not always in there, but that is free with a really good community of traders. Not too many people in there suck. In fact, I don't think anyone in there sucks. So sign up for the chat room. If you want to go more in depth, and we can go more in depth on shorting during the Power Hour. We do things from time to time, but go to the Power Hour, sign up. It is $50 a month, but we spend an hour to 2 hours in there every single day talking about markets and going over coins and sentiment and all kinds of stuff. So if you want to short with your money, I would much rather you pay me $50 a month than you lose $500 in about 3 hours shorting, to be quite frank with you. What's $50 risk versus $500 risk? That's the main reason why I'm showing you this. Feel free to short if you want to, but when you lose that first 500, don't say I didn't told you so. What do you think about XRP? Maybe feature number one coin. Is it better than Bitcoin technology? XRP is a product if and when it actually does anything. XRP does nothing right now. Nothing uses XRP right now, and it is. I don't care if it's better than Bitcoin. We all know Bitcoin technology is old. That's known. It's still number one crypto. It's going to remain number one crypto for quite some time. Should I sell now and buy again lower? I own 150 Litecoin. 150 Litecoin, Kevin. Oh, I hate saying selling at lows like this. It's not my favorite thing to do because you can't always get a bounce. Okay, you can't always. It's not gonna. God, that's so hard. I wish everyone would listen to me earlier when I say sell, sell, sell. Unfortunately, sometimes people don't know about me. Haven't heard my prior analysis. Here's a Head and Shoulders and Litecoin. We talked about it breaking down here, but 147, which is 50%. It's basically double from here. This is when we were talking about Litecoin breaking down here, and there's actually another one here. So, man, I'm sorry, my friend. That really hurts me. I don't like that. Every time someone tells me they have huge losses, gosh, it's really I hate that. This is usually what I say to that. You have to have a point where you're going to get out, okay? 75 is really low for Litecoin, but the sell-off does not look like it's abating at this moment in time, okay? What I would recommend is probably start selling a little bit, and if you get a bounce, then as we get higher, you sell a little bit more, but maybe you start liquidating a little bit every day. But you're going to have a point where you're just going to call it done, and you're just going to have to liquidate everything. I don't know what that point is for you. This trend line for me was a huge red flag. Unfortunately, I didn't really. Where is it at right there? I think that's it. Unfortunately, I didn't really put a video out or anything. I didn't really notice it in Litecoin, to be honest with you, until I did the study earlier today, which is what prompted my previous video. But man, all the good sell points are gone. Right now, you're basically just limiting damage at this point in time. What I've done in the past when I've had huge losses is I just cut the damn cord and bite it and eat the loss, and then consider a life learning experience, hate the pain, and then never do it again. That's generally what I do. And like most things in life, it'll bounce immediately after that. That's just trading though. So, you know, maybe if we undercut this low here, maybe you give it to 70, give it to some point where you're going to get out. But, you know, maybe sell a little bit here. If it pops up, sell a little bit there. But look, I don't think we're going to, doesn't look right now like we're going to get back to even the $100 mark in Litecoin, which would be a 33% improvement, but still nowhere near that entry point. So I'm sorry about that, but the market is what it is, man. Sometimes you got to cut, you know, take your loss and just eat it. So decide what you're going to do. Give it some thought. Maybe join the Slack chat room and, you know, talk with some of the guys about it. See what they got to say. Man, that sucks. That really, honestly, that breaks my heart. I started my channel to stop that from happening, and the further we get in this bear market, I still hear it happening. It just breaks my heart. I did talk about Litecoin, Mexican Charlie Lee. I did talk about it. I talked about it a couple of times. Maybe that's an old comment. What do you want me to mention about Litecoin? Not even taking into consideration I just talked about. I was thinking about it earlier. Yeah, it's broken, guys. Litecoin's broken. It's just, if you have a specific question about Litecoin, more than happy to answer. I'm trying to answer all these questions, guys. Please don't feel that that I'm ignoring comments, paid or not. I really appreciate the super chats. Believe it or not, it helps. Every little bit helps. But yeah, Litecoin's just broken. Data Dash was one of the first guys last year warning about price getting too high. Got lots of slack for bearish talk. I don't think it's his bias rather than just misleading himself if he's bullish. That's fair. That could be fair there, Frank. I didn't see any of those videos, but I'll take your word at that. Gilbert's where you live in Arizona, Kevin. I'm over here in North Phoenix, my friend. Just reading some comments here, guys. Buy the dip, copyright Randy. Eli, you son of a... Ah, Paul, you're funny. They're all BS altcoins now, including Bitcoin. Am I doing the sentiment thing right? I think that's the general sentiment right now, is that everything, yeah, everything's BS. Everything's a scam, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's a scam. I have $2 billion. Do you think I can start buying Bitcoin now? What I would really do here, Wonderful Bricks, with $2 billion, you can put it into my pyramid scheme, and you'll get, like, it's 100% a year return. You can't do better than that, guys. 100% year return doesn't get better than that. Do you think it'll be a multi-year bear like a few years ago, or is crypto too big for that now? Crypto is not too big for that now. It definitely will be a multi-year bear starting in 2018, probably going through most of 2019 is my general thoughts right now. If you look at the stock market goes into multi-year bears too, so it's nothing out of the ordinary. But that's my thought right now. If things change, I'll change my analysis. I go with the markets. Bitcoin chart showing structure and trend. Look at the flags. Real Crypto Drew. Not sure what you're referring to there, Rowan, but it looks like it was a comment to someone else. I never talked about Litecoin in my super chat. I think I did, Kevin. You know, again, if your super chat just said, "What about Litecoin?" I've talked about Litecoin several times. I know that's an old comment though. Eli, buy the dip, Real Crypto. Repeating yourself. Michael with a $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I don't see a question. I'm assuming that's just a nice little sentiment tip there. I appreciate that, Michael. Thank you. What else do we got? What'd I miss? So I believe Litecoin won't see all-time highs in the next years. Well, years is a long time. I do believe that we will get back into all-time highs in the crypto markets. Obviously, no one knows when that's going to be. You know, we can deal with the market right now as it is, and as it is, it's pretty garbage, pretty horrible right now. So I do think we will see highs again. I don't know exactly when that's going to be. I don't think anyone can. Anyone that's giving you, like, you know, like, you've seen these charts. You guys have seen these charts. Are going to do this. We're going to go here and go like that. Like, if they put that out there, like, seriously, and they, like, seriously think that's a thing, and are trying to convince people of that, just literally give that 10% of your thought process, and then immediately forget about it even after that, because it's nonsense. It's literal nonsense. If you see me telegraph like that, I premise it with, I hate doing this, but just to describe what I'm talking about. These are some scenarios. That's generally why I will do that, but it's not a good idea to telegraph that far into the future. You know, my new slogan is one leg at a time while keeping the market cycle in mind, and that's how you have to take the market, one leg at a time, keep the market cycle in mind, and that will move you forward. That's pretty much the only thing that'll do it. Looks like our Pete at buyer starting at 4,600 for small position. For the long run, which coins do you recommend to hodl? None. I don't believe in hodling from. I don't believe in hodling unless you have like a sub $1,000 Bitcoin entry point. You don't hodl anything if you paid more than like $1,000 for Bitcoin. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Another YouTuber is recommending buying Bitcoin Cash below 600. What would you recommend? So we've been talking about Bitcoin Cash actually has a measured move right now down to 250. Down to 250. Here's the measured move. Here's your flag. Here's your downtrend. Here's your bear flag. Here's your continuation. So that would be 250. And we were talking about this in the power hour. That seems pretty extreme to the downside, even for me. But you know, that's what the chart says. I don't pull these numbers out of my butt, out of my rear end. It's really implied there in the charts, and that's kind of what it is. That's what it shows right there. It doesn't have to get there. That's just what's implied in the chart. But if Bitcoin, look, keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. If we do break, and we're right on this low, so right here the low is 58.73. We're 58.87. We're right on this low. If we break this low definitively, guys, it's game on for the downside action. It's complete game on, in my opinion. You know, I hate to say this, and I'm not advocating this, but I almost want to tell you, just go long right here because your stop is so close. We talk about this during the power hour too sometimes. Maybe you arbitrarily go long with like a 1 or 2% stop because it's just sitting on a trend line. It's just so low. Even if you expect it to go lower, you know, maybe it just turns back around. Who knows? And you have a super good entry point. I'm not advocating doing that. I'm not doing that, but it's almost that type of a situation where it just looks so bad and so bleak that you almost just want to just go long. But if it breaks this low and we go lower, Bitcoin Cash 250, absolutely. You know, Ethereum breaking its longer term trend line, which I have somewhere else. Let me look at my windows. You know, absolutely, I do think Ethereum could break this all-time trend line here. Absolutely, Ethereum can break that and get down towards 300. Look at this run we've already had in Ethereum. You know, we've already had this. If you want to take this as your measured move, I'm going to do this freehand. That takes you down 320. Takes you down to 320 in Ethereum. We've got, you know, a lot of other charts and stuff that look you know, just as bad, that you can't believe it's going to get to that price. But you know, it's almost going to be like an Oprah Winfrey thing. You get a Litecoin, you get a Litecoin, you get a Litecoin, because they're all free. You're just going to, I mean, they're going to be so cheap, you're going to be like, wow, should I even buy this? This is, you know, it's like looking at a gold bar with poop on it. Like, should I pick that up? And you think about that for a split second, and then while you're thinking, it rockets up on you. Do I think the current price action is a fake sell-off before a huge pump? I don't think so. You know, I just talked about a possibility where you arbitrarily buy this low just because it's so low. Like, just because it's right down here. But, guys, I got to be honest with you. Look at this. And, you know, it can turn around at any time, absolutely. You know, I'm not saying it's guaranteed to go lower. But we're having small bounces. They're trying to move it. They just can't. It's just they're bouncing lower. It's a ball losing momentum. Okay, it's just a ball losing momentum is all the price action is right now. And this does not lead to higher prices. This is not the general type of action that leads to higher prices. That being said, if we turn around, this is kind of my most recent you know, buy point is 63.30 right here. You know, it's a prior high, maybe, but you know, generally I don't think it's a fake sell-off. You're welcome, Jason. When will Litecoin recover? When Bitcoin recovers. When Bitcoin recovers. Crypto's a scam overall. Just looking for a greater fool to buy useless coins, and right now there are no fools to sell to. Absolutely. I do believe that crypto's it's not a scam, it's a tradable asset. This is an asset you can trade, and it's something that you can make money at. You are looking for the next person to sell to, and you know what? If there's an end to cryptos, there will be a bag holder. There will be a bag holder, and you know, just at the end, you hope it's not you. Wow, Paul with a wow, $100 super chat, Paul. Wow. You the man, Paul. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. I don't even know what to say about that. Nobody outbids Paul. Do I have $101? Do I have $101? So, thanks, Paul, man. I appreciate that. That's crazy. That's really crazy. That's awesome, Paul. Thank you. That's super cool. Now everyone go super chat Paul $1. No one outbids Paul. I think that's the understatement of the day. Understatement of the day, Paul. Thank you very much. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, Shaw's going to bid 250 in a minute right there. Says it right there, 250. You're next, Shaw. You're next. Freaking Eli. I'm holding... Eli's holding US dollars. When should I exit? You should exit US dollar when Bitcoin hits $3,000 is when you should exit your US dollar and put it back into Bitcoin. Ah, Eli, you're awesome, man. That's freaking fantastic. That's fantastic. That's ridiculous. Taco Money. Fabian, what are you talking about? I'm new to shorting. Any advice, Fabian? Good thing I looked for your question. I do have some great shorting advice. Number one, use BitMEX. Number two, use my use my affiliate link, because I'll make 12 cents off of you, and you'll get commission. You'll get some percentage off your commission. I'm not sure what it is right now. Number two, learn your shorting platform, BitMEX or not. Learn the platform. You will lose so much money because you hit a button, or because you misunderstood a prompt, or because you didn't understand how to set the stop loss on the platform. Number 3 or 4 at this point in time. Trade with 1% of what you're trading with. If you're trading with $500, trade with $5. Okay? Learn the platform, do it for as cheaply as you can. Everything's percentage based in cryptos, so you have the fortune of trading with a very, very small amount of money while you're learning. So the best thing you can do is trade extraordinarily small to the point where you wouldn't even give a homeless guy that amount of money. And then be very, very careful with your entries. Extremely careful with your entries. Pedro, for a long-time investor, do you still think we should worry about Litecoin and consider selling? Well, Pedro, I think that depends on your time frame, and if you ever need that money again. Like I was telling a gentleman earlier, we don't know what's going to happen, but Litecoin is extraordinarily weak. It's so extraordinarily weak. And these are tradable assets. This is not an investment. Okay, I really don't view cryptos as investments. Okay, they move way too fast for you to have an investment. For this action in the stock market, for something is relevant to cryptos as Litecoin is, a stock would have, this is like a 15-year move for a stock in a matter of a year. It's insanely fast. So your investment time frame for cryptos is months. Like literally it's months. So now obviously we have longer in our lives, hopefully, than months to invest in these things, but it's difficult to recommend selling it at such a low level. That being said, it can get much lower. I would say, if you're comfortable with $30 to $50 Litecoin, then maybe go ahead and hold it. If you're comfortable with it being lower than that for a week or so, go ahead and hold it. If you're comfortable holding Litecoin sub $100 through about a year to year and a half of market action, go ahead and hold it. For someone who doesn't have time to trade and didn't invest more than he can afford to lose, thank you for premising that, should just lock his or her Ledger Nano S in a safe place, come back in a year would be a good idea. So a year in 2019, it's possible. It's possible that would be something that's decent to do. I don't know what your holdings are. Now, there's a lot of Litecoins that may not come back from this, so you may have to keep that in mind as well. But yeah, if you don't need the money, you can afford losing it and never want to see it again, maybe that's something you can do. But I think it depends on what you're holding and how far down they are. I think that's part of it too. Monkeytron, why are we so sure the market will come back? Why am I so sure I am? Well, I think we all should ask ourselves that question, Monkeytron. I think we all should ask ourselves that question. What? Let's look at Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin gonna come back? Like, how do we know that? How do we know Bitcoin's coming back? It doesn't have to. It can stay low for 3-4 years, guys. It can. It's definitely possible. Bitcoin can stay low for 3 to 4 years. Maybe we move around a $2,000 to $4,000 range for the foreseeable future, and then everyone really hates cryptos, and then maybe it eventually dies. You know what? That's fully possible. This is a fledgling industry. At some point, people can and may cut their losses with their investments. It's going to wreck a lot of people if that happens, but this is why I would say that would not happen. This is why I think crypto does have a future. Is number one, they do have massive markets for this, okay? The vehicle behind crypto right now has so much momentum, I don't think it's really stoppable. Now, one thing that probably could kill crypto is a drastic increase in electricity prices, but I don't think that's happening because solar power every year is getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. I think that a huge bear market, like where we get sub 2,000 and stay there, that really could hurt crypto for a very long time. I think that could do some damage to crypto that may be hard to repair. I'll just put it that way. But we're not there yet, so we're gonna go with cryptos coming back, and it is what it is. Okay, That's just kind of is what it is. You know, I do think 2400 to 3600, and you know, we'll go from there. But great question, Monkeytron, and yeah, we can't know, for sure. Look at Litecoin Bitcoin market. Is there a trend line moving upwards? Maybe. Let's check it out. Haven't looked at Litecoin Bitcoin in a while. Litecoin BTC. And why am I still getting Bitcoin US dollar charts? That is stupid. Okay, so Litecoin, Bitcoin on... I like the Binance charts, just to keep things simple. This doesn't go back far enough there. I don't think there's an upward sloping trend line against Bitcoin. I'm not going to spend too much time there. Guys, I'm going to leave it about 10 minutes. That'll be about an hour and a half. I'd like to thank you for joining me. Hit that like button again. If I see... unless, Paul, do you want me to keep going? You apparently own this stream. So if you want me to keep going, Paul, I'll keep going. But let's see what's going on here. Your benefit is to make money from our view. Laugh my ass off. Yeah, I really don't make money from views. Whiskey Sadie, I'm so sorry. That's all I gotta say is I'm sorry, my friend. What do I feel about long-term fundamentals for Bitcoin? Is there the possibility it reaches PayPal-like levels of adoption? Or is the case for store of value a more likely proposition? In my opinion, Mike, right now, the way that I see the cryptocurrency space, there's no way Bitcoin can do mass adoption as it sits today. And as I see the roadmap for Bitcoin, absolutely no way. It's not going to be PayPal. It's going to be... So think of it this way. I think in the way that PayPal is to Visa... Bitcoin may be to PayPal. Does that make sense? So you've got, you know, Visa and MasterCard, which is how we generally do 90% of our transactions on a day-to-day basis. Then we've got PayPal, which we're doing, you know, 5 to 10% of our transactions. And then we're going to have Bitcoin, which we're going to do 0.5 to 1% of our transactions. And it's mainly still going to be by techie people and by people in the community and by people doing cross-border payments that don't want to deal with some of the larger institutions. But generally... Bitcoin just it's not convenient enough. PayPal made it really convenient to send money with an email address. You can't do that with Bitcoin. So until they implement something like that, it's going to be really difficult for Bitcoin to get mass adoption. I think it's going to be a digital gold. I think it's going to be a tradable asset, and I think the blockchain will do very good for internet security and for application security. But I don't necessarily believe that it'll be money like people initially thought it was going to be. Who said fundamentals, Monkeytron? Who said fundamentals? Who said fundamentals? Oh, Mike said, well, yeah, well, he asked a very pointed question, so I wasn't super mad at fundamentals. And there's Paul, who owns the chat room. You're a no-coiner. Oh, you didn't get me a wedding present. That is true, Paul. You didn't get me a wedding present. Eli got me a wedding present. Litecoin will be 500 in 2 years. Interesting statement. Thoughts about 100 billion market cap on Bitcoin. I think it's about there, right? I think Bitcoin right now is about 100 billion. 101. I think it's interesting. I think it's real. Ooh, 42 on Ethereum right now. We were at 50 not too long ago. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I don't view much in terms of market cap. People are more concerned with the price than they are necessarily the market cap. So, you know, it's along for the ride. It's along for the ride. Whiskey, I lost so much I could have bought a car. And that is the kind of statement that makes me bring up the power hour. You know what? No one likes to pay for anything in life. I understand that. But one thing that we do in the power hour is pretty much try to eliminate, and I think successfully we've eliminated FOMO from our lives in the power hour, going over every single day. How does the car or $50 a month sound? I mean, seriously. If it's not my service, if you don't like my content, find someone else that, or a chat room, or someone that you can bounce ideas off of, and that's the main thing. I think I say it right here, or maybe I don't say it here. Yeah, I talk about bouncing ideas off of someone. That's really one of the main things. That's really one of the main things about investing, is being able to have your ideas vetted by someone. Okay, whether it be by another member of the community or by myself. You know, whoever's opinion you respect. You need to have those things vetted sometimes, and it's really good. And that's really what the power hour is about, is just holding everyone accountable for their decisions. Hold on one second, guys. Let me read some questions. My kid's asking a question. All right, guys. Sorry, kid was hungry. Home with my kids. Few minutes left. Get your last minute questions in, guys. Thanks for joining me today. Appreciate that. Thanks for, don't know how many likes I've got on the channel. Don't have it up right now, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys hit that like button. I do thank you for doing that. It does help get the stream a little more views. Flux is ready to move the markets. That's fantastic. Last 10 months has been a huge pump and dump on all of us. And the whales took $600 billion out of the market and left us all holding bags. Going to be years before this goes back up, says Lee. Well, Lee, I do want to mention one thing. The market cap is not indicative of the amount of money in the market. Okay? So the market cap dropping from 850, I think it was 850 billion to 237 doesn't mean that they've taken $500 million in cash out of the market. It doesn't work that way. Okay? Just as a small example, every time Bitcoin trades, the market cap changes. If Bitcoin's at 59.04 right now, if you buy it to 59.05, if you buy it by $1 and make that trade, you're going to adjust the market cap by $17 million, because your dollar gets multiplied by the circulating supply, and that is what defines a market cap. So you're not taking out $500 million or $500 billion from in cash. It doesn't quite work that way. My kid was asking if it's a good time to buy Tron. He asked that the other day, and I spanked him and sat him in the corner. I'm sorry about that, Dan. Another reason to seek some counsel from people, ladies and gentlemen. It's really funny. People will go to school and get $100,000 in debt for a $40,000 a year job. But they won't pay $50 a month when they have, $10, $20, $30, $50, $100,000 in the marketplace. I find that really, really funny. Ooh, triple bottom question. What's your thought on triple bottom of Bitcoin? It is not a triple bottom. This is not a triple bottom. A triple bottom is not this. Okay? This level would have to be touched. Now, I believe they're looking at the Bitfinex chart when they're looking at this triple bottom. And I believe that chart is a little different, but it's still not a triple bottom. This is not a triple bottom. There's a huge gap right here. All right, it's a 10% gap. You can't have a triple bottom with a 10% gap. Doesn't work that way. So, Jamie, please stream at this hour more often, Randy. Show some love for us East Coasters. Yeah, maybe that's a possibility, Jamie. Maybe I'll do that in the future. I live over here in Arizona, so the East Coast time frame is a little inconvenient for me in the mornings for my power hour. Sorry about that, guys. But you know, I'll do my best. So yeah, maybe a stream in the evening would be something I can do. What price would I start buying Bitcoin? Asked Bill. I've been asked similar questions like that, and I generally have two answers. And this isn't specific to Bitcoin. This is kind of specific to most bottom buying questions. Number one, my bottoming area in Bitcoin is 2,400 to 3,600. Somewhere in there is where I would anticipate going long. The second answer to that question is much more relevant and much harder to articulate necessarily. Not really articulate, but for people to ask, completely understand what I'm saying. I look for bottoming action, okay? I look for this type of capitulation action. I don't look at specific price levels, because if you have a price level, like say in your mind, say I tell you $4,800. I'm not telling you $4,800, but let's say that I say $4,800 and it goes right through $4,800. You're going to be lost if you don't have experience in trading. This is doing you a disservice, to be quite frank with you. Telling you a price is doing you a disservice, and it's making you stupid. Okay? Now, when bottoming action happens, that is the more relevant thing to look for. And that doesn't have a price associated with it. It's not a pretty answer. It's not a concise answer, and I apologize for that. But it can't be a concise answer. It can't be a concise answer because there is no concise answer. Does that make sense? So I hope that kind of clears some things up for you guys there. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Please subscribe if you guys haven't. Hit the alert button, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit a button somewhere on the page. Hit something on the page that does something for the channel. I really appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for joining me today. I'll try to do this more often. I hope you guys enjoyed my video earlier about those trend lines. I think that's a very important thing to point out. So yeah, thank you once again. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Appreciate Paul for owning the channel today. $100 super chat, ridiculous. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that, my friend. Eli, you can go to hell for giving me crap through the entire stream. I don't like you anymore, Eli. And thanks, guys. I'll see you guys next time, members of the Power Hour. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a good day, guys.